I, 37F, love my husband, 41 male, more than anything. However, he's had such a low libido over the last 3 years that I'm really starting to wondering if I can do this much longer. Is divorce really the only option when everything else is so right? He is not cheating, his T levels have been tested and are normal, he is not overweight, he had a strong drive early in the relationship, he has Viagra but it doesn't really do much. Yeah, it helps hold an erection, but it doesn't generate any desire and it gives him migraines. My husband is incredible. He works probably 60 to 80 hours a week to provide above and beyond what we need. Our house is gorgeous, my car and overall safety is his priority. He shows love through acts of service and gift giving, it's constant. I have to watch what I say around him or he'll find whatever and get it for me. He's patient, reliable, generous, kind, hardworking, faithful, and he's sexy. But even after maybe 4 to 6 hard discussions about sex over the past 3 years, some discussions that caused me to cry, he doesn't get it. I've told him to write it on a calendar, that it doesn't even need to be penetration. I've kept up my end by giving oral whenever the mood strikes. I don't always want to, but he deserves it and it's what I'd want too. And that's just it. Even after saying I'm human, I didn't sign up for forced celibacy. Just give me a little something here and there. It's nada. I'm starting to really think we're never going to have a family, even though he always talks about growing our family and having a child one day. But forget a baby, I can't even get him to do me. Nothing. Not even try. So I try to water our grass as much as I can, but I'm doing it 100% alone and damn it, non-stop sex is a pro for marriage and I'm young and hot and want it. What is the deal? So today, we're having another discussion. I'm at a loss for words at this point. I'm not going to leave him. There's no ultimatum to give. I've cried, I've been mad, I've approached it love, I've tried to model the sexual romance I'm seeking, I feel I've tried it all. I just want him to be happy, which I guess he is, like really happy and satisfied, which I know I can provide. I love sex. Hard, soft, spicy, vanilla, penetration, oral, porn, all of it. I never thought I'd be here. Please, after digesting all this context, if there's anything that you think would resonate when we talk tonight, other than begging, which I've done, share your insight. I know a lot of you will say to look inwards. I have and will continue to do so. Please trust me that I've been more than patient, understanding, and helpful. Also, I wouldn't accept weight or appearance as an excuse to ignore your partner for 3 years, but I'm 5 feet 5 inches 120 pounds and have maintained this weight my entire adult life. He is not gay. Lastly, when I point blank ask him what the deal is, he never gives me a real answer. And I know he's sick of this too, which is why I can't understand why he wouldn't just throw me a bone once in a while to shut me up. This is the only issue we have. But boy, it's a big one. He works probably 60 to 80 hours a week. Oop, these are new hours. It hasn't been like this for 3 years. But if this is the issue, how do I ease the stress so we can have sex? Oop, we peck, kiss and sometimes cuddle into each other at night. I'm fine that. I don't need much more physical touch regularly. But I do need sex as an outlet. And to connect my husband. Update 1. Lesson learned, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. But, we made so much progress yesterday, for the first time ever, so I wanted to share an update just in case it may help someone else. The gist of the original post is that for 3 years my husband, 41M, and I have had sex like 10 times, except on our wedding weekend / honeymoon. I went on and on about all the talks we've had, how patient and helpful I've tried to be, how I still give him oral from time to time. I can't just do nothing. I love all the sex and I need it in my life however I can get it. But he refuses me often and I feel that he fails to see me as human with sexual needs. No amount of words or tears has altered his behavior at all. So of course, there's a deep sadness that stems from no desire or intimacy from the only person in the world that matters, and from the person who promised time and time again he'd pay more attention to my needs, and from the person who otherwise goes above and beyond every day for me. It's been so confusing and at times, just downright cruel. He's never given me an answer or reason. He's never ever said anything other than he loves me and he'll try harder. Literally y'all, I told him to put it on a calendar. I don't care. Just do me. And he couldn't even do that. After posting asking for help I was planning to have yet another talk with him. I got so much great, but hard, feedback. Why are you talking again? He's been very clear he doesn't want sex. It won't get better so you have to decide for yourself to stay or go. He's lying to you. So true. So wise. But so painful. I got upset, deleted the thread, drove around for an hour in tears mourning us and my whole vision of our future, a vision he said he wants too. That vision includes trying to have one kid. I just want my little angel, if it's meant to be. And of course, I want a happy healthy husband. It all felt like it came crashing down and I couldn't handle being advised to leave him. I'm sorry to you guys for bailing when you were in fact taking the time to offer great advice. And I did follow your advice and said fuck the convo. He knows what the problem is. And yes, to everyone's point, WTH was I going to say anyway? That night was calm, but I just got stoned when I got home and turned on LOTR. He stayed out of my way. I still didn't know what to say or how to say it, and was still digesting your words. Next day, yesterday. Woke up. First thought, fuck this. I deserve a convo and I'm going to tell this MF exactly what I fucking feel, and that includes an ultimatum for divorce. So I told him that morning. Including the divorce part. Well, I'm in our closet changing after work and he comes in and closes the door. We have a big closet with a seating area where we chat sometimes, but never close the door. He says, look, and he pulls out his weenie and it's covered W a rash that has one open wound. He said, this is awful for me to talk about. I have genital psoriasis. I got it from the stress of my brain injury. He was in the hospital for a month, couldn't hold a job, moved in by himself for a year before he felt he could function in society again. It's incurable, very painful, and flares up with stress. I looked at his dick and then looked him straight in the eye and said, you've put me through hell for 3 years BC of this? You almost made me call off our wedding BC of this? You brought me to tears and made me question my own womanhood BC of this? The conversation continued. I know. I don't know what to say. I was scared to death. It's not contagious. Me, I know it's not. I wouldn't care if it was. I don't think you're cheating. But you've lied to me this entire time. You broke my heart over and over, all BC of your pride and embarrassment over something totally fine and normal. I know. This is really hard for me and I'm trying to be vulnerable. I can tell he's physically uncomfortable at this point. No, it does not. I get what you're saying. At this point he brought up me sharing my ovulation schedule with him. He said he keeps it and tracks it, and unfortunately while he knows I peaked Saturday, he has an outbreak right now. As he showed me, that's no problem at all, but you have to tell me. As far as I knew, you were just ignoring the whole thing and that was awful. I'm thinking I'm on this boat with you and we're a team, and next thing I know I'm on an island by myself. We left it with an agreement that he'll let me know when he feels good and then I'll initiate when I'm in the mood. I've done a ton of research on this BC, as you all know I love this man and want to fix this, so I've learned about responsive advances and I think this may work better for him. Is this exactly what I wanted? Yes and no. Yes BC, I have cold hard facts that directly contribute to this issue. I already feel sexier and more in control. No BC, we're still going to have to wait to see if he takes initiative when he doesn't have an outbreak, which will be hard right now BC of the heat and his work hours. And yes, I did say that we could always downsize and that we can rethink having a child if money was the root of his stress. That all this, gesturing broadly, isn't worth losing this, gesturing between him and I. He swore it isn't and that he's in a great, but stressful position right now, and of course the 110-degree heat isn't helping. Overall, I'm satisfied. I feel lighter, reinvigorated to meet him where he is, and more confident as a woman. For the first time in a long time we had real intimacy. That moment in the closet was non-physical intimacy which I so desperately crave. And I now have a much better understanding of his mindset so I can adjust my attempts to seduce him. Wild ride. Thanks for reading. Edit. Thank you all for sending me to the psoriasis sub. I've gotten hundreds of immensely helpful comments from those suffering and those whose partners are suffering. After learning more, I completely understand how insensitive suggesting oral sex was. That during an outbreak so much as a little chubby, much less a full erection, can be god-awful. I understand so much better now and will not put this expectation on him. Oop, I 100% agree. I told myself this is one step in a long journey, but if I'm not going to leave, then I gotta be willing to go rough this. I feel much better, but I know we have a ways to go. I'm still resentful of this too. I'm trying to be supportive while also being pissed. In no way do I think this is 100% resolved. Oop, I really appreciate you taking the time to reply. This is exactly how I feel too. I understand what everyone is saying, but I know him and he doesn't want to hurt or disappoint me ever. And he never has, except for this. Yes, I was angry and still am. Yes, I think lack of sex is grounds for divorce, but I also don't want to divorce this amazing man. Update 2. Hasn't even been a week and it's like I'm in a new marriage. We had our breakthrough and then he had to travel for work, but it gave me a few days to 1, digest everything, and 2, get all the products you guys recommended. He came home to his side of the bed full of different soaps, lotions, and underwear. I never said a word. He poked around and pulled some stuff out and took it to the bathroom. He said he doesn't like the Bombas undies I got, but that he knows a brand he does like. They're just too expensive. This is a whole new layer to this. He literally said no to this expensive underwear BC, he'd rather spend the kind of money on me or something we both need. We've got to work on him knowing he is worth whatever the cost that's needed to bring him happiness. He's totally worth expensive undies, the derm visits, the shots and creams. If I have to pay every cent to get him there, that's fine. He takes complete care of me and would do the same. I also have Rex for docs, but that'll come later. I'm just so grateful he wasn't put off by me trying to help. He was open and curious, and we've even chatted a bit about the patterns he experiences when he has an outbreak. I felt so much more confident too. I was always awkward and uncomfortable kind of, not BC of him necessarily, but it was the constant rejection that just made me so confused. Does he even want me to touch him? Does he even like me? But now I'm rolling all over him and he's being so receptive. Grabbing me and dragging me all over him too. Calling me beautiful while looking in my eyes. Kissing my face, my head, my mouth. When it's time to get up I just simply say I don't want to hurt you and he picks me up and helps me off him. Easy peasy. Even this morning, I went to get up around 6 and he sleepily said no. Y'all, this man hasn't cared if I came or went for 3 years. Well, yes. He probably has but never knew how to say it. BC he knew I'd think sex and he couldn't do that. Gah. What a mind fuck for everyone involved. Eek. Now I just gotta chill and not be too much. Talk about it, but not too much. Help him, but not too much. It may take another 3 years, but at least now we're moving forward. I also now have an arsenal of sexually explicit things we can do that won't hurt him, thanks to all the men and women who've learned to navigate this with their loved ones. It's a new day, folks. And you apologized for your reaction when you asked him if he could go down on you when you saw his penis, right? Oop, we've both apologized to each other. Oop, one of our conversations after he told me what was going on was about his gift giving. I asked if he does this BC he feels he needs to make up for sex? And he said no. That it's just what he likes doing. So long as it's all healthy, that's fine with me. Now on to second story. Opened our relationship for my fiancée to explore her desires, but now she's shut down and confused about my dating others. Betty, 27F, and I, 30 male, got engaged in January after dating for a couple of years. Our plan was to get married next year when we had saved enough money for the wedding. Shortly after getting engaged we moved in together at the end of January. In May, Betty was a bridesmaid for one of her friends. I was unable to attend due to my job and the fact it was a 5-day trip. Betty had a great time reconnecting with some of her old friends, but a couple of weeks after she got back she became moody and withdrawn. I was relieved when she made an appointment with a therapist since she hadn't opened up to me about what was troubling her. After about 5 or 6 sessions, she sat me down one Saturday morning so we could talk. Betty had been raised in a very conservative household and had to suppress her desires until she moved out to go to college. Even then certain ideas she denied and refused to embrace. At the wedding, she was introduced to the wife of one of her girlfriends from college and it triggered a lot of repressed desires over the days they all hung out before the wedding. She told me she felt romantic and sexual attraction to women as well as men and realized she was bisexual. I told her I was happy she finally felt safe in sharing this with me and it didn't change how I felt about her. It was a very emotional moment. She asked me how I felt about her exploring her sexuality now that it was out in the open. I said I was open to exploring it with her and possibly having a threesome with another woman to let her have that experience. She wanted a one-on-one experience with another woman and felt she couldn't do that with me present. I told her that sounded more like an affair and something I wasn't comfortable with. I asked her if she wanted to cancel the wedding and maybe separate while she figured out what she wanted to do. She was adamant that was not what she wanted and she was still very much in love with me and still wanted to get married, but she felt like she had to explore these feelings she was embracing before we settled down together. I asked her if she had done anything inappropriate at the wedding and cheated on me. I asked if she had someone in mind or had been talking to someone since she came back. She admitted to dancing with a girl at the reception and they kissed at the end of the night but nothing else happened. But she denied talking to anyone or pre-planning anything. She knows this was a lot to throw on my plate all at once and she didn't expect an answer right away. She just asked that I keep an open mind and keep talking about it. I couldn't promise anything but I agreed to do some research and talk to a workmate that has an open marriage to see how they cope. I did warn her if I found out she lied or was doing anything behind my back there would be no second chances and I would leave. My workmate has been super helpful and open about their relationship. My brother got me into a support group that has helped me come to terms with our relationship changes. I'm burning my way through my second book and sat Betty down Thursday night to check in and talk about moving forward. I found us a couples therapist, I gave her the book I had finished, and I told her we should postpone the wedding for 6 months and then decide if that's the path we are still on. I was on a roll when she stopped me and asked me if I was planning on dating other people. Like that never occurred to her that I would be dating as well. She kind of shut down after that, barely giving one-word answers when I would ask her something. I think the longest sentence I got was I just don't know. She has been like that for 24 hours now, like she is lost in a fog. I'm just bracing myself for the inevitable flood of emotions. I would have thought she would be happy that I was considering opening our relationship. Update 1. Saturday night her fog lifted and things got pretty heated. She said that the open relationship was my way of punishing her and being vindictive by dating other women. She was just asking for some grace to explore her feelings. I replied that she showed almost no remorse for cheating on me and instead expected an open-ended hall pass to do so again. I told her our friends had told me she asked them not to say anything about what happened at the wedding so I would probably never know the full truth and just had to accept. It was worse than she admitted to. I asked if she thought it was fair to go have sex with other people while I waited by the door like some love-sick puppy who was expected just to wag his tail when she decided to come home and show me some attention. It devolved after that and some hurtful things were said by us both. I finally gave her 3 options if she wanted to move forward. 1. Monogamy, postpone the wedding and go to couples counseling. No experimenting. When we get to a good place then go ahead with the wedding with a prenup to protect me if she changes her mind and or cheats again. 2. Open relationship, we can both date who we want and she can figure out her sexuality on her own terms. In a year or so we can see if marriage still seems like a good option if we are still together. 3. Full separation, she moves out and we can each be free to live our lives as we see fit. When she decides she wants monogamy with me if I haven't moved on, then we can try option number 1. But it would be a new beginning, not just picking up where we left off. She decided she needed some space to think things out and is going to stay with friends for a couple of days. I told her before she left that if she accidentally cheated while she was gone to not come back except to pick up the rest of her things. This morning I got a text from her, "I'm so sorry." She didn't answer when I asked her what she meant and my call went to voicemail. I'm not going to reach out to her again and I will wait to let her contact me when she is ready. Update 2. Previously my fiancée announced she was bisexual and had made out with a woman at her friend's wedding. On Wednesday, Betty went to her previously scheduled appointment with her therapist and told her what happened between us. Not sure what all was said, but she called me on the way to her friend's house apologizing for some of the things she said and wanted to come home and talk things out. I told her to stay at her friend's house tonight and think about what she wanted, and she could come home Thursday and we could sit down and work things out. On Thursday we met at the house and talked over dinner. We both apologized for getting heated and saying some unfair things to each other. After talking to her therapist and having several conversations with her best friend over the last few days, she has decided not to explore her bisexual urges. The idea of a truly open relationship where I was free to sleep with other people terrified her, and getting married was more important than chasing the rainbow. Her original idea had been just a free pass to see if she was missing something in her life and how important it was to her. I asked what was she asking for an ONS, just dating a woman, or having a full relationship. She couldn't tell me exactly what she wanted. I said that didn't sound very monogamous to me or very fair. She agreed, and that was why she was giving up on exploring those feelings. Next, she brought up the notes I sent out canceling our save the date notices for our wedding day. She said she was getting all kinds of calls about what happened and was caught unaware about what they were even talking about at first. She was upset I did that without talking to her first. I reminded her that she lobbed 2 grenades in my lap, coming out as bisexual, and that she cheated on me, then left and wouldn't talk with me except for a cryptic "I'm so sorry" text followed by silence. While I never said anything other than we were having issues and had to postpone the wedding, evidently there was speculation that she had cheated on me. She switched gears and said we could still get back on track and get married next spring. No, because now when one of us is out of town my mind will be thinking about you cheating again, especially after coming out and wanting to have an affair to explore your sexuality. I said maybe after couples therapy we could get back to a good place again, but not by the end of the year, and it would be foolish to start planning and making financial commitments before we even knew if therapy was going to work. Plus I wanted a prenup to protect everything I brought into the marriage as well as my future retirement savings. Plus she would forfeit any equity if we bought a house. When she protested I said if you plan to be faithful and not change your mind later then it would never be a thing. Just something to give me some peace of mind. It's been an ongoing conversation for the last few days. Betty wants to rug sweep the incident at the wedding and move forward with our wedding. Exploring her sexuality is not worth sacrificing our relationship in her opinion. For now, we are back together and planning on counseling soon. In a post-clarity moment, I realize I rushed to embrace the idea of an open relationship to allow Betty the freedom to explore her new feelings, and I'm not as willing now to consider that option. I think separation is the better option, breaking up if you will till we both decide what direction our future lies and if it is with each other. It's not what I want, but I also don't want to spend the next 3 to 5 years together only for her to change her mind or cheat on me one day.